Mitch Friedman, can you lead us off in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Honored. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Lieutenant Kelly Ross from the Salvation Army is going to do our invocation. Lieutenant Ross. Would you like us to sit or stand?
You can sit. That's fine. Let us pray. Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for the opportunity for allowing us to be here, Lord. And Father, we just pray as we discuss the business of the town, Lord, that you would just give us wisdom, Lord, that you would guide us and direct us in everything that we say and do. And Father, we ask you to just bless our time here. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Lieutenant Ross works for the Salvation Army right in downtown Riverhead, and they do a wonderful job with feeding lots of Riverhead residents, and they obtained a grant for a new vehicle that is a disaster response vehicle.
Yes.
And it's going to be great. I think the town of Riverhead is going to use it quite a bit. I hope. We have awards.
I hope not. We don't want no disaster.
That's actually true. We don't. You're right. I never want to see it. Leave it over up there.
Okay.
That's it. Okay. Can we have Daniel O'Neill and Eric Divan?
Oh, look at you.
Come on up. Jim, aren't you coming up? Oh, you're taking the picture. So, we have proclamations. Hello again. Still not moving? Okay. I got this piece of paper here, so I got to read it. Eric and Daniel are Riverhead High School honor roll students who are members of the East End Rowing Institute. And upon the occasion of they are the North American champions. They placed first in the boys' lightweight double sculls, winning the 2012 SRAA National Championship Regatta in May. Where'd they have the regatta?
Late May.
We know where.
Oh, Camden, New Jersey.
Oh, cool. We like to honor our young students, especially your honor roll, your champions. The fact that the East End rowing is something that is going to be part of what continues to bring back our Main Street. And I know we've been working to get what is it called? A row house, boathouse, and skull house. Yeah, skull house. No, we don't want a skull house. That's right there with the Chester 4-year-old neutered male that I. So we've got proclamations for both of you. We want to thank you for your dedication. How long have you boys been rowing together?
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
How fast can you go?
20 miles an hour. Yeah.
Can you beat your dad?
Yeah.
On your own, one-on-one? Get out of here. Jim, they beat you?
They beat me.
That's not good. Well, gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for coming out, and we've got these proclamations for you, and it acknowledges that you're part of this Scholastic Rowing Association of America that was formed in 1935, and it is really cool that you guys are here, and we hope that you continue to bring rowing into Riverhead, back to Riverhead, into Riverhead. And Eric, here's a proclamation for you. Thanks. And Daniel, is a proclamation for you.
Thank you.
Would you like to speech or anything?
Congratulations again.
All right, gentlemen.
Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Daniel?
Now we'll bring in the neutered male. Do we, oh, here we go. There you go, Jim.
Yeah, Jim, you do it.
We're We know Chester, everybody knows Chester.
Chester's been here before, hasn't he?
Yep. Chester again. Chester's Upper Notch is 4 years old. It's an American Staffordshire Terrier mix, and it's neutered male. He's been with us for a while.
He's our resident, he's been with us the longest.
He's the oldest member.
April 2010.
Yeah, April 2010. He'd be best in a home with experienced dog owner. He has made much improvement in learning basic commands. And it'd be nice if he had a nice fenced yard to run around in and play. He loves chew toys. He's a very, very playful person, so, or playful animal. So. There's Chester. Beautiful.
He knows his name now.
Yeah, Chester.
He's a good-looking dog.
Puppet.
We've got a lot of great dogs up there. I think we're down to, what,
We are down to 17.
17 dogs. So,
Last month we had 9 successful adoptions.
Wow, congratulations.
I recognize Riverhead as a place to go in this program.
All right, so, well, I don't have a lot of people in the audience, but maybe somebody will invite adopt Chester. Mitch, he really took a shine to you. All right,
Okay.
gotcha. Thank you very much.
That could be a chew toy.
Thank you for bringing Chester out.
That could be a chew toy.
They want to leave.
I should get it.
Now let's go back.
They're a nice shoe.
You have a little dog, though. I don't know if Chester looks like he likes little dogs.
My dog's like 7 pounds.
Oh, I thought you had a little fruit thing.
No. That's my wife wanted.
Okay,
I want a dog I can
John.
beat.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the town board minutes of June 19, 2012. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
The minutes are approved.
All right, Diane, monthly reports?
Sure. Under tax receiver, total tax collection to date as of June 25th, $127,791,908.97. Town clerk monthly report for June, $11,277.95. Sewer department submitted their monthly report for May 2012. Under fire districts, Wading River Fire District submitted their financial statements for 2011. Under correspondence, a letter from Joseph Hall regarding the proposed code amendment to Chapter 106. A letter from Mary Beth Zilnicki regarding proposed amendment to Chapter 101-7 turns. And a letter from the South Jamesport Civic Association. There was a letter and a petition requesting a public hearing for the site plan of the proposed Village at Jamesport Development Project.
I didn't get a copy of that.
You didn't get a copy
I
of
didn't see that either,
No?
but I think they have to go through site plan because it is,
That maybe
I don't,
Get your copy.
was it addressed to the planning board or to the
I don't think they had
It
actually
was
submitted
planning.
site plan.
Yeah, it was planning.
That's why I didn't get a copy.
Yeah, my assumption is, but I don't know the facts, so I shouldn't make that assumption, but my assumption was that they had to go to site plan, so I don't know. All right, are any town board reports?
No, I just got a question. On the Joseph Hall letter, is he correct in stating that our electric motors do not include the pond in Manorville and,
I don't know, you're gonna have to sit down and
What?
talk. Why don't you sit down and talk to him and report back, because
Okay.
I don't know, I read it too, and
I'm not sure that we.
I think I sent it back to you
Does-
and
does
said,
our-
what does
does our-
this mean?
Does our code transcend our boundary lines?
No.
no, the ponds in
Part
Manorville.
of it is, yeah.
It's only, if it's only the river, then it won't, do anything with the sportsman's, kennel pond or the one off of, River Road.
Well,
So
we
that's
solved
what
one
we-
problem, maybe we didn't solve
Okay.
all the
We'll
problems.
find out ourselves.
Talk to Joe.
I'll
see
look
what he
into it
says.
though, get back, okay?
All right,
Thank
any
you.
other, committee reports? No?
Observance of tomorrow.
Fireworks, 4th of July tonight, well, not that you're gonna see this, before tomorrow, but there's fireworks today at 9:15 behind the riverfront, behind Sweezy's. Someday we won't call it Sweezy's, but on the riverfront.
And the band
there's a
concert.
band starts at 6.
Yep.
And so it should be a nice evening. So for those of you that are sitting in the audience, fireworks tonight, nice couple bands that are playing this afternoon, and there's actually a concert tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, and it's the Blues Brothers Band. And it may be, I think it's the original Blues Brothers Band that's playing on the riverfront, something like that tomorrow night. I know I'm getting a look. Am I wrong?
One of them apparently was in the band.
Yeah,
Oh, one of them was in
one of the
the-
original.
there you go.
One of the original
One of
artists.
those,
Yeah.
one of the
Hey, you
original
know,
guys.
close enough for a politician.
Right, that's it.
Okay, special permits, Diane? What do we have applications? Got applications pending town board approval.
Oh, under that, yes, okay. An application for a special permit was turned in for Long Island Corvair Association Auto Show at the Riverfront Parking Area for September 23rd. Sports Authority submitted application for sidewalk sales June 29th through August 26th. Kent Animal Shelter, a 5K run walk at Martha Clara Vineyards on September 23rd. Old Steeple Church submitted an application for their annual antique fair August 25th. And under parade and assembly permits, the Long Island Antique Power Association submitted a permit for an assembly at Halleckville for July 14th and 15th. And that's it.
All right, we have 4 public hearings today, so why don't we get started? 2:05 having arrived. We're going to open a public hearing for a consideration of a local law to amend Chapter 108 entitled Vehicles and Traffic of the Riverhead Town Code, Traffic Regulations, and this is stop and yield at intersections, railroad crossing, parking fields, 5th Street and St. John's Place. John?
Okay, this is on the north side of Northville Turnpike. It's when you're exiting St. John's Church. There's a curve on Northville Turnpike, so when people are trying to make a left-hand turn,
No,
it's dangerous. A left-hand turn.
yeah, but this isn't, that was the one turn. This is the stop sign. What we're
Oh, the
doing,
stop sign. Okay.
what we're doing is, we're calling for a public hearing to add a stop sign. Those familiar with the St. John's
Yeah,
School, there's
okay.
a roadway that passes between the school and the firehouse and comes to basically an L, if you will, and then that you make a left and you go back out onto Roanoke Avenue. At that intersection, we're proposing to put a stop sign
Yes.
up so that
Right.
when someone's coming past the school, there'll be a stop sign on
Yep.
your right-hand side or the south side of the road.
There was one there already.
I think there was one there.
Just
I think
codifying it.
but it's not in the code.
Okay.
So this is some cleanup.
So it's just clean
I
up.
believe there is a stop sign there
Yeah.
as we speak.
Yeah, I think there is.
Yeah.
All the funerals I do, that's
Right up there with all those traffic lights, or
So
street lights we put up.
So this is so that if someone passes through that, they can be prosecuted the right way.
That's right, I've corrected. Thank you.
Does anybody wish to be heard on this? Not seeing anybody, we will close the public comment portion and leave it open for written comment until July 13th. The second public hearing is supposed to start at 2:10, and this is a consideration of a local law amending Chapter 101 entitled got a headache, guys. I'm sorry. Gonna take an Advil. Sorry. I think the grass pollen stops. Is the grass still blooming, George? Is it grass that blooms now? Something that blooms?
Yeah, there's still yeah.
Weeds?
Still
Okay. All right.
some of the later grasses.
Something. Consideration of local law amending Chapter 101, Vehicles and Traffic of the Riverhead Town Code, Article 3, Traffic Regulations. And this is a south from TJ Maxx Shopping Plaza on Roanoke Avenue. John, this is the one that Ms.
Yeah,
Zelnicki wrote
I
about.
was wondering, we're gonna have this hearing, but we're gonna have another hearing, because if we make a no-left turn out of TJ Maxx onto Roanoke Avenue, right turn only, there's another, exit from, 7-Eleven that should be the same way. What they're doing, they're crossing 2 lanes of traffic that are moving, and, So this is only for TJ Maxx, but we will have another public hearing on 7-Eleven also.
You know, after listening, reading her letter and multiple emails, I'm wondering if she's right, that this one's not really the problem, that it's the 7-Eleven one's the problem. But let's see.
Well, it could be, but they're both going across 2 lanes of traffic, and the 2 lanes they're going over are moving traffic. One goes to the right down 58, the other one goes across
Right.
58. So both of them are dangerous.
Actually, one of the suggestions she made, because I wrote her back a couple times, was I'm sure that it would be nice if that apron on the 7-Eleven could be made part of the entranceway into TJ Maxx and not on the Roanoke Avenue. There was a way to get into
Yeah.
the 7-Eleven from that roadway instead of Roanoke Avenue.
But that's private property, so,
I think they own just a little bit on that side.
we can't do that.
Cross-access easement or something.
Yeah, I haven't,
right,
looked, I haven't looked at the tax maps, I don't know exactly.
But I think that parking 7-Eleven is so tight that if you came in from the parking lot, there's all slots there, you'd probably lose 6 spots.
Yeah.
There'd be no parking in the 7-Elevens. There's none now.
Right.
Well,
I'm
people
just
get
saying,
their coffee and go instead of sitting around talking, to be honest, too.
So, yes,
All right.
that's the nature of the beast.
Does anybody else wish to be heard on this matter? Yes, Sal.
Sal Mastropolo, Calverton. I have a question. If this goes through, are you then gonna put a no left-hand turn out of the parking lot for Peconic Bay's parking lot, which is right next to it? I mean, what's the reason for this?
It's
Yeah,
further, it's
I'm
further
beginning
down.
to think the same thing. 7-Eleven I could see, but I don't know about this one.
You plug that circle.
the parking lot for Peconic Bay is only 1 lane. You're only going across 1 lane of
No,
traffic.
you're crossing 2 lanes.
It doesn't separate until just north of TJ Maxx. You go.
It is further north.
Okay, you're saying when it goes past Peconic Bay's parking lot and entrance,
Then it
it's
goes
only a
into 2
single
lanes.
lane, and then it widens to 2
Yes.
to accommodate the traffic
Right.
circle.
But I will check on that.
That's correct.
Okay, but a long time back we had asked, or I had mentioned,
Yeah, we measured it.
making it 2 lanes all the way up Roanoke.
Yeah, Gio and I measured it right after that hearing, and it wasn't enough room.
Okay,
There wasn't
thank
enough,
you.
There wasn't enough width.
All right, does anybody else wish to be heard on this? Not seeing anybody, we will close the public comment or public hearing, leave it open for written comment until July 13th in the town clerk's office at 4:30. Next public hearing is 2:15, scheduled for 2:15, and this is consideration of local law, amending Chapter 108 entitled Zoning of the Riverhead Town Code, definitions, word usage, breezeway, and this is defining what a breezeway is. Open construction with a roof, I'm not gonna read it, you guys can all look at it.
Can I just say, this is there was some confusion over our definition of breezeway. We didn't have a length, we didn't have anything in the code. So what we're making it now, we're making it a length and the type that it has to be called a breezeway, to attach one building to another building. I mean, the other one, we could have a 100-foot breezeway and attach 2 structures and make them one. This is limiting that.
Did you wanna say something on it, Shirley?
Well, this is something that was brought to our attention, and we sat at code revision and discussed it, and the town attorney got to drafting it, so now we're having a public hearing on it, and it was based on a letter and recommendation that we define breezeway. So we took it from other codes throughout the county that defined breezeway better than we did, and if anybody has any comments on it, I think that
Dominique, I'm assuming, as you stand up, just state your name and handle it for the record.
Yep, Dominique Mendez, Wading River for the Riverhead Neighborhood Preservation Coalition. So, obviously, I urge you to change the definition of a breezeway, so it actually defines a breezeway. And John, there actually was, there has been a definition of breezeway in the books for a while. I think the issue wasn't that there wasn't a definition.
So, but it wasn't a good definition.
It was a pretty poor definition,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I think everyone admitted that. Unfortunately, in fact, I brought this to you guys' attention, and so did other people. Last July it started, and this exact definition is one I emailed to Bob Kozakevich in August. I think it was August 25th or 28th, I have it. So it's been a long time coming. And I think, Jim, last time I was up here and we discussed this, you kind of admitted that, you're fixing this after the barn door was opened, and I completely agree. Ideally this is, and hopefully this won't happen again. Ideally this was something that should have been fixed when you had notice and before it was used as basically a loophole to get around the existing code. But at least doing it now does do one good thing in that, for example, at that one business where they already have, a path that you could drive a truck through called a breezeway, they've got a ranch in the front, and this would not allow them to attach that with maybe a 500-foot path. Let's call it a breezeway and have this octopus-like structure. That would be, well, you laugh, it's almost as silly as what they already have, but it would be even more silly. So at least it would prevent them from doing that, or some other business or residents from doing that. But something happened at the public hearing, actually, when we discussed this issue. It was actually discussing the expansion into the barn, and that's what that definition was used for by the business of Jedediah Hawkins. They used this definition to get through and to allow expansion that wouldn't have been allowed. So we were discussing that. It was one of the first public hearings that we had, because you guys approved public hearings for site plans, and that was a good thing. And so we had that. And at that public hearing, it came out, one of the neighbors asked a question, and it was about the roof, and they said, well, it wasn't covered. And the person who worked and represented the Hawkins said, well, there was no definition of a roof in town code. And so it didn't seem like it would have to be solid or covered, and we thought that at vines, it was deemed that vines would be enough. So I wanted to let you guys know that in addition to breezeway, it seems like your planning director board doesn't know what a roof is. And so you might need to define roof for them. And I'm thinking floor, because we could have dirt floors.
I don't think we could define everything that comes up. Some things we might refer to the Webster's Dictionary on.
Well, they didn't in this case. I guess there was confusion, and they said, and what the applicant said was, since a roof wasn't defined, that a roof wouldn't have to be solid, and it could be vines, which I guess, since it's part of a structure, which means I could probably do that on my house too. So you might want to, there seems to be some confusion, and truthfully it was hard to take that seriously, but the planning board apparently did. So if we're to take them at their word, then you should probably consider defining roof and maybe floor and door, window. I don't know what else they really need to understand. I'm
hoping we don't have to go that far.
I'm hoping, but again, there was apparently, if you take them at their word, confusion. Maybe you also might want to consider, because this brought to light an issue, and maybe discussing it with the planning board. The residents and businesses rely on codes and zoning categories to balance the rights of property owners and to promote land use that's good for the town in the long run. And I think we deserve much more than a mockery being made of the system by any boards of the town, and that includes the planning board, the ZBA, and the town board. And it was hard to sit in that meeting and take that seriously in that discussion of a roof. And I'm thinking maybe that's something you want to address and try to prevent happening in the future. I really look forward to a day when we can inject more reality, logic, and fairness into these processes. Obviously, we're not there yet. But I'm hopeful that we'll get there one day. In the meantime, I do ask you to go forward and adopt the revised definition of breezeway, which I think is the same as Southold's definition of breezeway. That's the one I provided back in August.
Dominic, I've seen the breezeways with open roofs that are just gorgeous. I think the most important thing is the length and the square footage that it covers.
Well, I don't think we have Yeah, but it still has a roof in yours too. I don't think we have an issue with someone building a long path and ornamental patio sort of stuff, and no one has a problem with paths.
It's hard to define roof, when it could be an open roof. breezeway. I mean, a breezeway is something that's between two buildings that join. And I think the most important thing is the length and the square footage that it covers. And I think that's the most important.
So a roof to you
It
could be.
could be an open roof, a design roof. It could be. I've seen some gorgeous open roof breezeways.
And they made two buildings one, these gorgeous open roof breezeways.
No, we're talking about breezeways. This is the definition of a breezeway.
Right, and that's what
So
yeah.
I've seen some open roof breezeways, yes.
But it didn't mean that those structures made two buildings one, or GarageNet one. We don't have an opposition to people connecting things or and not having roofs. It's just that your definition makes sense and it makes two buildings one, and it does say a roof in here, and I don't think that this board meant that roofs be open, because then it's really not a roof, is it?
It says open construction.
That's why I'm.
The sides are open in a breezeway.
Well, that
Not-
says we're roof projecting.
I
So
think that
it could be an open
You
roof
think?
too.
I think a roof is definitely defined in New York State Building Code, and we refer often to New York State Building Code and our code for definitions of
Right.
structures and values of insulation and things of that nature. So
Right.
I'll look into it.
They didn't the last
Well,
time then.
Right, yes,
They
you
did
should
the
look
last
into it, because the
time.
planning
That's
board
it.
seems to think that it would be leaves or could be open, and I didn't think John's is completely accurate. If we look up roof, I think it's usually, solid and permanent sort of thing, so I don't think that fits the definition of a roof, but maybe you guys need to define roof. So I know it sounds silly, but that's what happened at the planning board hearing. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Does anybody else wish to be heard on the matter? Yes.
Amazing.
Phil Barbato, Jamesport. Sometimes when we talk about breezeways and Jedediah Hawkins, I feel like I'm in a sequel to Alice in Wonderland. A roof keeps the weather out. A breezeway is a structure. It keeps the weather out. It should stand on its own as a structure. I'm a registered professional engineer in New York State. I have a license to practice engineering in New York State. Your definition of roof, sir, is not correct.
Okay.
And
We don't have a definition.
I don't have a
of roof.
definition.
Well, I think the
That's
town-
that was only my opinion.
and I'm only giving mine.
Okay,
I could be wrong, you could be wrong.
that's right.
My point is that the town this board has to direct its appointed boards on what the definition of roof is, because your planning board is about to approve a structure, quote, unquote, that isn't a roof. And it's 120 feet long and can drive a fire truck through it. And it's got pretty landscaping around it. This is the ridiculous situation that we're in this town. And you're in the center of it. I don't think you can escape that point. You have to define this in the code, and you have to direct your appointed boards on how to adjudicate this. Otherwise, we end up in a ridiculous situation like this. You've got 120 feet with roses on both sides, and that connects two structures and makes them one building?
Wasn't part of that site plan, I thought it was supposed to be like plexiglass or something? It was supposed to be some sort of shield.
Yeah, and the last thing we heard was, well, maybe we don't need that either.
So it's more.
That's what I'm
changing
trying to
this,
say.
okay.
I was at the same hearing. It was surrealistic.
Okay, so I wasn't there, okay.
Well, I'm glad, because you probably would feel the same way I do. The other thing I think you should make clear in this code is anyone who's gotten an approval for the old breezeway definition would not be grandfathered under this new code. In other words, if this particular applicant wants to connect the building that's now in the front of their main structure, which I'm sure is in their long-range business plan, that they cannot do it once this new definition is in place. And you have to make that clear too, because I'm sorry, sir, but you don't realize what goes on in those zoning board and planning board meetings. It's not real. It's Alice in Wonderland. And if you don't make it clear, it's going to happen again.
Well, I think that the record of this public hearing is going to reflect the fact that the town board believes that when this gets adopted, you wouldn't be able to go forward under the old section of the code. So if you had another building you wanted to connect that was 120 feet, distance of 120 feet, you wouldn't be able to do it because this new code provision provision prevails, and I think the case law is going to bear this out, that the breezeway that they may get approved will now become a pre-existing non-conforming structure under our code.
But then again, a 120-foot arbor is not a breezeway either, so,
That's our point.
even under the old definition. So, all right.
All right,
Thank you.
Does anybody else wish to be heard on this matter? Not seeing anybody, we will close the public comment portion, leave it open for written comments until Friday the 13th at 4:30 in Diane's Town Clerk's office. We have a fourth public hearing, and this is supposed to open at 2:20 having arrived 10 minutes ago. This is a consideration of a local law amending Chapter 64 entitled Fire Prevention of the Riverhead Town Code, and this is permit fees for tents. And this sets, we have tents that are being put up throughout the town, and we send our fire marshals out there to inspect them. Dave, you can jump in at the podium if I'm misspeaking. And we spend a considerable amount of time having our fire marshals go out, and building department as well, inspect these various tents, and that sometimes it's on overtime, Saturdays and Sundays, and this is for a way to more or less for the town to break even on what we're paying our personnel to go out on overtime to do these. Dave, is that more or less correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And
Anybody else?
Oh, my question is, how did these fees, have they changed a lot from what we pre-existing now? They went up about 50%, all of them, right, okay.
It's in line with what most of the towns are charging in Suffolk County for the inspection of these tents.
Okay. Does anybody else wish to be heard on this matter? Yes.
Strictly commercial? Commercial in it? Not
It would
residential?
apply for commercial industrial.
Not residential,
Now,
okay.
we may need to clarify that it's not due for residential,
It
but
says-
it says
does say
commercial industrial.
Herb Strobel, Executive Director for Halleckville Museum Farm up on Sound Avenue. First of all, I think, as the supervisor pointed out, there is a need, obviously, for the fire marshal's office to at least break even, and they do tremendous work, and so I applaud them for that. They are very accommodating. What I would ask, however, is that some consideration be given for not-for-profits, including places like Halleckville, churches and whatnot, in terms of the increased rate, fee rate structure. So in particular, and one clarification I would like in the proposed 64-9 subsection P as in Papa, you talk about operational permits for any other use, process, or operation as required by New York State Code, $50 permit fee. I'm just curious as to what you mean by any other use, process, or operation.
It's just a catch-all, and it should be, what it was is that was the previous subsection N, which
Right.
was the catch-all that had been in the code under the fire prevention code, so it got bumped down. It should actually be O, not P, because I think N follows O. I mean, O follows N, so that was, so that's just a catch, and maybe the fire marshal can explain what other applications might come in under that scenario.
And we will correct it to O if
On the
there's no,
adoption.
if there's no O.
Yeah, that would, but I have to say.
think there's no.
I'm wondering, I understand what you're saying with nonprofits or churches or organizations like that. This calls for commercial industrial, and how does churches and nonprofits fit into that definition?
We don't define it in
We
that
don't
chapter.
define it, so we might have to.
So yeah, I'd appreciate that, because again,
I would.
$175 might not seem like a lot, but if you're putting up,
Yeah,
for
right.
instance, a church putting up 2 or 3 of those a year, it starts adding up to real money. So I would
Well, that's a
appreciate
big-
your
That's a big
consideration
sale.
of that.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dave, do you want to just weigh in on that, or?
Just on what the gentleman just said about Halleckville, I could understand if it's going to be for their own use, that they're going to be installing the tent for whatever it may be. But if they're doing weddings, that type of thing, then I think the code should apply to the to what they plan on doing.
And I would,
Okay.
if I may, I would totally agree with that.
You would totally agree.
That is a commercial use. When
Right.
we rent out the facility for a wedding, it's a commercial use, and I would certainly, support what Dave is
Okay.
saying. But in
So,
Why don't you come up to the podium so that we can get that on record, so we can make a full record?
and then you put up a tent on a Friday or a Saturday and you take it down over the weekend, or you use the tent for, 6 weeks, or?
So let me just clarify. So in other words, in terms of what the Assistant Fire Marshal was just saying about when we rent out the facility to private parties, for instance, let's say it's a birthday party or a wedding or whatnot, and those folks want to put up a tent on their own, we require them to obtain a tent permit from the fire marshal. That's on their dime, so to speak, and so certainly I personally have no problems with the fee structure the proposed fee structure as it's defined here in the proposed code amendment. In terms of answering Ms. Giglio's question about Halleckville events, so for instance, for the Fall Festival, which occurs typically the third weekend in September, we will put up a tent typically. We'll have it up for 4 or 5 days. It's a one-time use. The fire marshal comes out, we apply for a tent permit, the fire marshal comes out, does the inspection, and that's purely for our Fall Festival in direct support of our not-for-profit mission. So I don't know if that answers your question or not.
It does, but we may have to revise our applications, Dave, to reflect a checkbox saying, is this a not-for-profit, and is this for use by the not-for-profit and not a commercial entity? And, just clarify that on the application so that we...
Yeah, usually what they will do is that if it's going to be, say if it's the country fair, they'll put on there that it's not-for-profit. If it's something for the wedding, it's usually, it's pretty defined as to what they're going to be doing.
I haven't seen the application, so I don't know.
But we can, like I said, I know there is going to be some changes to our application, so it might be just easier to go ahead and codify the application to reflect that it is non-for-profit.
And then I think we can waive the fees for not-for-profits like we do for other fees that we charge.
Yeah, we seem to waive those not-for-profit
Yeah.
fees left and
Right.
right.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I think we have a pretty good understanding as to, what the town board is looking for. And if there are any questions, we can always reach out to you guys and go from there.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, Dave, I have another question.
Sure.
We have tents less than 1,000 foot, but shouldn't we have like a minimum? We need
It shouldn't be
tent for-
it shouldn't be 1,000 feet. It's 10 by 10. It should be 100. So those are the easy up tents that you
Right,
see a lot of times
farm
the
stands
vendors
put
have.
the easy up tents and
Right.
fall, get out of the sun with the pumpkin
Right,
seller.
exactly, and they go flying off when the wind is over 10 miles an hour. It
So
should be, it's anything 20 by 20 or larger.
So it'd be 20 by 20 large, so
That's
400
correct.
square feet and
That's
larger.
correct. That
Okay.
that's consistent with the code.
Okay, so 400 foot and larger.
So we gotta change
That doesn't
this.
say
We
that.
gotta,
Doesn't say
doesn't
it.
say that though.
Just says first tent less than 1,000 square feet.
So we have to say 400 square feet to 1,000 square
He
feet
said
is
that should be 100.
$175.
Correct? You said that should be 100.
20 by 20,
It's 400 square feet's
it's
allowed.
400 square feet,
Not
not a 10 by
1,000.
10.
First tent between 400 and 1,000 should be 175.
That's
Yes.
correct.
Just change that one sentence. And then
Yes.
from there
So
on
that,
up, we're good.
we might just have to codify that as well, Bob. I think
Just
that-
so we're clear, so we're saying something that's less than 400
Less
square
than
feet, there's no
1,000
permit
square
required
foot,
at all?
yeah.
No.
That's correct. If it's a
400.
10 by
That's
10,
what it
easy
says.
up.
That's it.
It's 400 square feet into 1,000 square feet.
But it doesn't say that, it
Begins.
says first tent less than 1,000
Right,
square
so
feet
we'd
is
have to change it to
175.
400
So
square
it's
feet.
first tent between 400 and 1,000 square feet.
Right. Yeah, actually, I'm sorry. It should state that. It should be from, I know it says 1,000 feet or, 1,000 square feet or less.
Right.
We should have it in there
First
where it says
tent more
400
than
to 1,000.
400 and less than 1,000.
Looks like we're going to public hearing again.
That's fine.
So under 400 square feet, no permit required.
Put more than 400.
No, under 400 square feet.
Under 400.
Because the first tent between the 400 square feet and 1,000 is 175. Tents under 400 square feet, no permit
Yeah.
required.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right, so
Yeah,
Bob,
close that
I
up.
I don't like that.
think we're going to public hearing again.
Sounds like department has
Sure.
20 tents.
Does anybody else wish to be heard on this matter? Okay, we'll close out the public comment portion, leave it open for written comment until the 13th, knowing that Friday the 13th, that we probably will go to public hearing again. Next, resolutions. Does anybody wish to be heard on resolutions? Sal?
Sal Mastropolo, Calverton.
How you doing, Sal?
Good. CDA Resolution Number 10.
Yes.
I have a question. Credit implies value. Okay, and there's a statement in here that says Eastern Fence may use credits for track that was removed by the CDA. Okay. Is the CDA being compensated for those credits?
Here's the problem, Sal. This is almost imaginary. When we did the rail spur goes into the WSR area. In order to rehabilitate the rail spur, they only allowed us to rehabilitate the existing rail spur. Nothing more. There was a section, a siding that there was no use for, so we took it out, and we consider it, to have no value. It has no value. We probably will scrap the steel, but other than that, it had no value. The state DEC has turned around and said, if you want to expand the rail spur, and the only expansion of the rail spur really is to hook it up to one of the two businesses that are the beneficiary of this rail spur, they had to put in some additional track in. Because it's in the WSR, the DEC came and turned around and said, well, we can only let you install rail spur on an in-kind basis. So if you took some out, you could put some in. And I don't like this. I don't want it to be a precedent. I think the DEC is 100% wrong in what they're asking. But it's a fight that the town, it's not a fight, it's a discussion that the town has to have with the DEC on a global picture. Because if I can't convince the DEC that this rail spur has to go through some additional WSR line area to pick up the new subdivision, then the rail spur really is a rail for two businesses, and it'll never be any more than a rail for two businesses. But that conversation's happening now with the DEC. In the interim, Eastern Wholesale Fence is stuck because DEC won't let them connect, and we want them to connect so the rail spur will be used. So this was the easiest way to try to say, listen, do this now, but know that the town is not accepting this as that there's any value to that rail spur, that there's any value to what they're asking us to do. We're just looking for the mechanism to get Eastern's rail spur connected.
Okay, let me see if I understand this. I think what I heard you say is that at one time, let's say for argument's sake, there was 1,000 foot of rail in that environmentally protected area,
Right.
and there's now only 900.
Correct.
And they're going to install 100 feet, and they're going to install it in lieu of what we took out.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Got it.
That's 100% right.
Got it.
Resolution 498. I noticed that the second set of numbers in the from is different than the second set of numbers in the to, which means that it's not coming out of the planning department budget.
498, ours is the same. Do you have an older version?
Well, it's .001.0000.
You told the accounts.
And it's 01.080200, which seems to imply that it's not the planning department budget.
It's not. This is appropriated fund balance.
So this is a change to the planning department's budget, not him moving around money within his own department.
Correct.
Okay. And we do that during the course of the year?
We do,
I thought
if we want to pay the consultant that we owe all this money to.
Well, that begs the next question. Why is the planning department using a consultant?
That's the consultant BFJ that we use to do the Wading River corridor study.
Okay, thank you. 501. First question is the money coming out of the grant or town funds to pay Dunn Engineering?
Chris Kempner. That's you, Chris. 501 Dunn Engineering.
Safe
The
routes
safe,
to school.
safe routes to schools.
It's a reimbursable grant.
That is not out of the Safe Routes to School funding. We were going to use the admin money out of our CDBG funding. Which is
Chris,
another source
could you
of,
use the microphone,
Come up to the
please?
microphone so everybody can hear.
Yeah.
So the question was, is it town money or is it grant money?
We were going to use CDBG administration money for planning infrastructure projects because
So
this
that's
is
grant money?
Yes, it's federal grant money. This is through state DOT, so it's another source.
Thank you. The next question is, what's the anticipated cost of the, quote, safe roads? Do we have, I mean, is there a plan? We're spending like
She's got to get back up there to.
$35,000 just for the engineers to put it together.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of money.
The 35,000. Actually, the total infrastructure cost is about 395,000. So, the engineering funding is going to be used to be put together the bid package for people to do the construction. This was a very extensive community planning process that goes back 10 years or more, where there was a lot of community visioning with the schools, and the purpose of the grant is to allow safe routes for children to walk or bike to school, so it's within 2 miles of the school district. And we're progressing the project with one section that fell into the budget that was available from DOT. There's a couple of areas over near the school that have some logistical issues in terms of putting in a sidewalk. Some of Cranberry Street's a narrow street, so that's the street we changed the direction to one way so we could put sidewalk on one side. There's a few right-of-way issues, so we're moving the sidewalk where it's in the public easement, and these issues are a little bit more extensive than what we anticipated when we first hired Dunn, and we didn't want to hold up the project anymore. We're hoping to get it to bid and finish the construction before the kids come back to school.
I just hope after we go through all of this, they actually use it.
Me too.
Oh, that's a pretty used road.
I mean, they don't even walk to the bus stops, and you expect them to walk to schools. It's a joke.
What else you got, Sal?
That's it.
They should live around the schools. They walk. A lot of people walk.
I could take you to some neighborhoods where the parents drive them from their house to the corner to the bus stop and let them sit in the car with the car running,
That's right.
waiting for the bus to show up.
You're right,
Yeah,
Sal.
but within a
And I could
certain
take you down to
distance.
Pulaski Street any morning at 7 o'clock and count the kids walking too.
And the buses don't pick up kids within a mile of the school district.
Let's drive the school bus.
Okay, 515, on the retainer agreement, it says 175 an hour for partners, and then it says 175 an hour for associates. Is that correct? Generally, associates is less than partners.
They are at such a low rate that
That it's probably right, because
You're-
I saw
you're-
one of the
yeah.
other attorneys was getting
Yeah.
265 for partners.
yeah, we're
Okay.
paying, what we're paying is associate rates for partners.
Okay. 526. It seems like every time you turn around, there's another not-for-profit, okay? Sponsoring craft fairs and food sales, and you know people are making money at these things. Is Kent actually a non-profit? They're not a business?
Well, I think Kent's a 501c3.
They sure are.
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
one that I wouldn't guess on many, but that'd be one I would hazard a guess that they are.
Okay,
And
I
they do a
think
great
that's...
job. They help
Nope, I
us
have one more.
tremendously.
Yeah, I know I don't do these on a, as close a basis as staff, but I know that we generally ask them for some proof to establish their not-for-profit status, whether it be a 501c3 letter from the IRS or some other documentation to establish their status before we go forward and put this to the town board.
Okay.
So I'm presuming that was done.
Thank you. 541. My first question is Jefferson Murphy. Murphy? I don't know the man, so this isn't personal. Okay? What experience does he have? What degrees does he have? I mean, we're starting him at a salary that's unbelievable. I don't know what you're going to do next year. Okay?
Nothing. He is well, I would say nothing, but I don't, next year's not here, but Jefferson did this exact same job in the town of Southampton with a combined building and planning department. I would suspect he was making a little bit more in Southampton, and then he went into private industry, and then he's coming back into government. This is about the average salary for a department head, and it's, I don't say average, it's lower than some.
Okay. The last question. Is Rick going to report to him? And are we going to change the cover of our brochure so that it reflects that Rick is no longer the planning department administrator, manager, supervisor?
That is a conversation that I have to have with Rick if this resolution gets passed.
Okay, thank you.
Sandra Mott.
Hi, Sandra Lee Mott, Riverhead. How are you all?
Very good, very well.
Good. I'm going to go through the resolutions here. I know it's that time. On Resolution 505, you're accepting the resignation of a allergies are right here, so if I start
Me
talking,
too.
forgive me. You're accepting the resignation of a kennel attendant, Lori Walters. I don't see any reference to the hiring of a person to replace.
I guess we don't have somebody in mind yet.
Forgive me?
I guess we don't have somebody in mind. Are you interested?
No, not at all. I'll
You'd
stay
be very
from
good
afar.
with them.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But are they going to be short-staffed up there then?
I think it's at the end of the month.
Forgive me?
I think she's good till the end of the month, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't actually read the full thing. I just read your excerpts here. But you will have someone prior to their.
Who is the kennel attendant? Is it Lori Walters?
Lori Walters, yeah. She's
well,
July,
this was a mistake
to
today.
Just pointing out.
July 22nd. Yeah, we got 3 weeks.
Pardon?
Yeah, she's not retiring immediately. She's
Okay, so you will have the opportunity to replace
yeah.
that person, so they won't be short-staffed up there.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's my basic concern. And
Oh, that reminds me, there is no work session, correct, Jill, on Thursday, this Thursday, because we had the work session on Monday, town board meeting, 4th of July holiday, so there's no work session Thursday. I know the press is elated.
I'm just going to go numerically here. 515, in the matter Lawrence Oxman versus the town of Riverhead. I think I know what it is, but can you just expand?
This is the shopping center project where the town got into litigation right next to the Riverhead Raceway. They
All right, I know.
clear-cut some property.
Yeah, I'm the one who called the police department on a Sunday morning, and he told them he was a farmer and he could do it at any time he chose, yet he had been told the prior Friday he could not make any adjustments to his property, and then he obliterated every blade of grass and tree that was on the land. That's what we're talking about, right? In a nutshell?
Without the editorial comment, yes.
Oh, well, it wasn't editorial, because I was the founder of the issue. And then when I called the police department back, that's what they told me, he told them.
Okay.
But yet nobody called me, might I add, yet I told everyone on the board
They
I
probably
would
will
be
now.
available.
They
I would be
probably will now.
available. Well, if they want to call me, feel free, because I think it's offensive that this should be taking so much time here of everybody, and for this kind of situation to have actually happened. I mean, we don't have enough coverage, for trees to protect us from the air, which is probably why I'm choking up here with the ozone. But the bottom line of the story is, you're continuing to sue him that he did something illegally?
Now he's suing us.
Oh, he's suing you?
Yes.
And what did you do wrong?
We can't really go into
We can't go into
Oh,
it.
you can't go into the
No, it's a
particulars?
public meeting. We can't go into litigation.
No, litigation.
Oh, all right, well, I hope you win. Because that was obscene. And it still is to this day. And it was wetlands. So just so your attorneys, Mr. So-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so,
Oh, they
or
know.
Miss, will understand that fact.
They don't know that we should be hiring her for any amount of money.
Forgive me?
If they don't know that by now, we shouldn't be hiring her at all.
Yeah, well, they really need to go over there and look. And 524, this is a new organization, Forgotten Friends of Long Island, at least to my knowledge. I'm very glad that they're going to have this. Can you, do you have any indication as to where it is going to be located? Just so the public will know. Forgive me? On Garden of Eve?
4558 Sound Avenue.
Yes. It's right opposite Northville Turnpike. isn't it,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
It's Northville and Sound.
Yes.
Northville and Sound.
Right, okay. And I support them for doing that. I support Kent for doing what they do, and if anyone questions their status as a not-for-profit, then they haven't been in the town of Riverhead for very long, you know? No offense, Sid.
Got my second childhood dog from Kent, Jed. 18 years he made it.
See? If you care for them and keep them inside, they will. I think that was all pertaining to this. We'll get through this. I'll be back with my other questions. Can I just make one comment? Should I not make it if I have a coughing fit? That little dog you said about adoption, ironically enough, I was at a doctor's office, and I don't know if you know Sergeant Sam Sela and his service dog Gillian.
Yes.
Do you know him?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, well, perhaps Chester and the little ones up there can be directed towards this organization, the National, let's see, the Canine Companions for Independence has been in existence since 2004, and they work with wounded veterans.
Right.
And I think that really, if you're having little ones that are having difficulty being placed, what greater opportunity than this to help. And when I saw this man in the magazine, it was a large magazine. I don't have the name of the magazine, but the point in fact is, this is the kind of direction that should be made towards placing the little ones up there. You know, in addition to, I noticed that you do have it at the end of the, you know, what's going on in the town.
I will. I'll check. I know we have a whole list of organizations we reach out to on a regular basis, and I'm not so sure. I think they're part
Here,
of it.
I'll
But
give
I'll
you
double
the.
check.
It's www.cci.org.
CCI.org.
Yeah, www.cci.org.
I'll see if they're on our list. I know we
And
reach
I
out
would
to
contact him as a person who could direct you and advise you, because he has his little service dog Gillian.
He's a local guy.
All right, what else on
So-
resolutions?
That's, well, I wanted to connect that point
Now,
back.
you connected it to Kent, that
Okay.
was a good connection.
Thanks.
Good.
Hello.
Ms. Mendez.
Yes. Dominique Mendez, Wading River, RNPC. I just wanted to quickly verify something. Could you tell me if you're going to be tabling any resolutions? Because I was going to make a comment, but there might be some that are tabled.
I'm gonna, one of us, if it's not me, will make a motion to table the Wading River stuff. We wanted to get BFJ to review it before we adopted it,
Mhm.
and we weren't able to reach out to them on short notice, so
So we're
I
gonna
want to
table
make
that.
sure it's bulletproof before we go forward, so it'll probably come up the first meeting in August.
Okay, that's so that we won't be passing any of those. That's what I wanted
I
to
think
check.
so,
I think it needs to obviously be correct and
Bulletproof.
right. Yes,
It's
I
going to be
agree.
tabled.
So that would push the public hearing off to the second.
If there's enough time, yes.
If there's enough time, it could be as
Jill's
early as
saying
the
the next meeting.
night meeting. Okay,
Yes.
that's it. Thank you.
You still sticking around?
Me, am I still sticking around? Oh, I don't know. It's debatable. Why? Do you-
It depends. Well,
Yes,
why
I'm-
not table it if you're not here? No, we can.
Anybody else?
I don't want you to miss me. Okay, I'll stay.
Good afternoon, Larry.
Good afternoon, Town Board. Larry Oxman, Lawrence Oxman. With regard to Resolution 515, I think there's been a mischaracterization of exactly what that resolution is about. So for clarification, this is litigation that I've enacted against the town for malicious prosecution. It has to do with the simple fact that the town had accused me of violating the town code, and it issued summonses and complaints, of which I was found not guilty in the court. My remedy, 7 years later, is to file a malicious prosecution. It only has to do with the charges. It has nothing to do with the property up on Route 58. Specifically, I don't own that property anymore. The shopping center, Sean, that you referred to, is an application from the new owner. So I could go into other details, I think that Ms. Mott did not speak accurately, maybe her opinion, but I think when it comes to facts, she's incorrect or just misinformed. I just wanted to talk about this resolution. I can talk afterwards about the entire property in general. So, incidentally, when did you guys discuss this resolution? Just out of curiosity. I see it's on the agenda, but I didn't see it in any previous mention of agendas.
Last Thursday. Monday.
What was
It was
it?
in Monday. It was a work session.
Yeah, this past Monday.
Yeah.
Just as a resolution, so
Just as a
you didn't discuss it in executive session.
We may have discussed it in executive session.
No, I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
I don't think we did.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else wish to be heard on resolutions?
No, we just passed it first.
Not seeing anybody tonight. Let's take up the resolutions. CDA, Chris? A motion to close the
All right, make a motion, we close the town board meeting and open the Community Development Agency meeting. So move.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
CDA Resolution Number 10 authorizes and consents to Caps Realty Holdings LLC and Eastern Wholesale Fence entry onto CDA premises and use of credits for freight rail track.
So move.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
The resolution is therefore duly declared adopted. CDA Resolution Number 11 authorizes PSA with PMKB Consulting Associates LLC for an economic impact analysis of Calverton Sewer District STP upgrade.
So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio?
There were some questions at the work session as to whether or not she was going to include certain items in her proposal. Has she agreed to do that for the same cost?
It'll be an additional cost because it'll be a larger scope.
So the residential component being added into here is not something that can simply be done? Is that what you're saying?
We don't have enough detail on the units right now, I think, for her to do a specific analysis that she normally would do, which would include who those units are going to based on size and price and market, because that in turn would inform her as to how those people spend and what impact it would have. So as that is worked out in the process, she'll prepare another proposal that will be based on her normal GEIS analysis, which would help us with that whole process.
Yeah, we don't even know if we're going to put residential in the zoning, so I guess it wouldn't.
It
would be separate anyway.
She's working on that proposal, but we had this July 16th deadline that she was trying to make based on this proposal, and then she's also off this week, so we were trying to ask her to do some of the work on her time off.
Got it. Okay.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
And the resolution is therefore duly declared adopted, and that completes the business of the CDA.
Get a motion to close the CDA.
I make a motion, we close the CDA meeting and reopen the town board meeting. So move.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Town board meeting is now reopened. Resolution 496.
Awards bid for quick lube maintenance for use by the Riverhead Water District. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 497.
Establishment of new bank accounts at Suffolk County National Bank and closure of accounts at Citibank and Chase. So moved.
Unseconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 498.
General Town Planning Department budget adjustment. So move.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 499.
Riverhead Sewer District Land Acquisition Capital Project Budget Adjustment. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio?
Yes.
Gabrielson?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Dunleavy,
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 500.
Street lighting district budget adjustment. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 501.
Authorized amendment number 1 to Dunn Engineering Associates PC PSA for safe roads to school. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 502.
Ratifies the appointment of an intern to the police department. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 503.
Appoints a Recreation Aide to the Riverhead Youth Bureau's 2012 summer programs. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 504.
Accepts the resignation of a detention attendant. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 505.
Has to be amended, Diane.
Yes, I see, down on the, I do have that.
Deborah Taylor's and the now therefore be it resolved has to be changed to Lori Walters.
Okay.
Accepts the resignation of a kennel attendant as amended. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 506 and 507 both have errors.
Yes. We have to
Don't
change
echo.
the dates for publishing to the 12th. The 5th is is this Thursday. We can't get in by this Thursday.
Okay.
And on the 507, the same thing. And then we have to change the opening of the bids for the 20th instead of
The 13.
the 13th.
12 and 20.
Okay?
Does that give him enough time, the 20th?
That was her original.
Yeah, it's the same.
That 8-day span was her original.
It's such a short
And I-
time frame.
Yeah, I asked her about it and that's what she's.
People waiting for the bid anyway.
We're waiting.
Resolution 506.
All right, authorization to publish advertising for biofuel for use by the town of Riverhead. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
As amended. Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes, as
Dun-
amended.
Dunleavy.
Yes, as amended.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 507.
Authorization to publish advertisement for diesel fuel for use by the town of Riverhead. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes. As amended.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, as amended.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 508.
Appoints an assistant recreation leader to the recreation department. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 509.
Appoints seasonal call-in lifeguards to the recreation department. So moved.
Then seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 510.
Ratifies the appointment of a seasonal lifeguard to the Riverhead Recreation Department. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 511.
This appoints a call-in seasonal beach attendant to the rec department. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 512.
Ratifies the appointment of summer recreation aides to the recreation department. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 513.
Ratifies the authorization of selling the annual beach permits by Warren's Tackle Center, Fisherman's Deli, and the Grind Cafe. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 514.
Authorize the town clerk to publish and post the attached notice to bidders for the removal of liquid sludge. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 515.
Supports the law firm of Smith, Finkelstein, Lundberg, Eisler, and Yakubowski LLP as special counsel in the matter of Lawrence Oxman versus the town of Riverhead. Philip Cardinale, Dawn C. Thomas, Leroy E. Barnes, Richard Downs, George Bartnick, and Barbara Glass, and authorizes the supervisor to execute a retainer agreement regarding same. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 516.
Adopts local law amending Chapter 10 entitled Civil Claims of the Riverhead Town Code, and it's 10-1 compliance required. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 517.
Authorizes the town clerk to publish and post public notice of public hearing to consider a proposed local law for an amendment to Chapter 101, Vehicles and Traffic of the Riverhead Town Code, 101-4, one-way streets. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 518.
Authorizes the town clerk to publish and post public notice of public hearing to consider a proposed local law to amend Chapter 101 Vehicles and Traffic of the Riverhead Town Code, 101-7 turns. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 519.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement with Cummins Power Systems LLC regarding generator maintenance service for the Riverhead Water District. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 520.
Authorize the supervisor to execute a musical works license agreement with CSAC LLC. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 521.
Approves amendment to professional services agreement with BFJ Planning. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
No.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
No.
Dunleavy.
Well, we've asked these people to do extra work for us, and they've done a lot of work. They've done a lot of work, and they're going to have another meeting on August 12th. I just can't keep asking these people to do free work for us, so I have to vote yes.
Adopted. Resolution 523.
Authorizes co-sponsorship of weekly Saturday Farmers Market and Craft Show with Riverhead Business Improvement District Management Association Incorporated. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 524.
Approves Chapter 90 application of Forgotten Friends of Long Island, Inc., and that's the Animal Rescue Summer Festival Adoption Day, which will be August 18th, 2012. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 525.
Approves the application for fireworks permit of Jamesport Fire Department on July 14th. So moved.
And second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 526.
Approves the Chapter 90 application of Can Animal Shelter 5K Run Walk at Martha Clara Vineyard, September 23rd, 2012. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 527.
Approves the Chapter 90 application of Old Steeple Community Church Annual Antique Fair, August 25th, 2012. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 528.
Authorize the supervisor to execute a municipal cooperation agreement, renewal number 3 with the Riverhead Central School District regarding unleaded fuel services. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
I vote yes. This is again to save the taxpayers' money with a joint of fueling up at our municipal garage instead of them putting in a fuel tank. I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 529.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute a retainer agreement. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 530.
Approves the Chapter 90 application of Sports Authority sidewalk sale event July 4th, 2012 to August 26th, 2012. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 531.
This authorizes final payment to Dunn Engineering PC for Grangeville Park Improvement Project 2010, number 0759.14. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 532.
Authorizes town final check to Dunn Engineering PC for Calverton Real Spur Project number 0935-61. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 533.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute a grant agreement with New York State Department of State for BOA funding. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
I haven't finished reading it yet. Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Have mercy.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 534.
Classifies action, declares lead agency, and determines environmental significance of proposed amendment of the Town of Riverhead Comprehensive Plan zoning map and test as applicable to the Wading River Route 25 corridor. I'd like to table this. And can I make 3 tables?
Yeah, 535,
535 and also table
537.
537.
Where's 536? Somebody should know that.
534, 535, 537.
Oh, you're missing a
38. Okay.
That's 539.
Yeah.
I don't have 536. Does anybody have 536?
Where's 536?
I do not know.
I know, we could probably make something up real quick.
And it's 539, so it's 534.
Is it in there anywhere? Does anybody see?
Yes, well, 536 accepts the resignation of traffic control officer.
The what?
Oh, that was pulled out.
That was
because
pulled
it
out. It's
wasn't
up here, I'm reading it.
The resignation of the traffic control officer.
resignation stays in, just the appointment
The resignation's not here. There's no resolution.
Okay. That's what it was gonna be.
It's not in the
None of
packet.
us have it. I'll call.
Did we get it written? Well, Meg just walked in. The resignation was written?
It was, yeah, it was in there. Ask Julie to print it. It's there.
Not in our package, it may be there somewhere, but not here.
It's listed as a resolution, but it's not in the packet itself.
Yeah, I think Julie.
Do you have it?
I'm reading it off the paper.
Oh, you're reading
except
off of
the-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like
Well, why would they stick that in the middle of
I don't know.
Okay, thanks.
But let's table 534, 535, 537,
538.
538,
39.
and 539. Okay,
So
good.
34, 35, 37, 38, and 39.
So move. Table.
Table.
So, George, was that a second as the table?
And second.
Moved in second
Table.
as the table? Yes,
Okay.
as all resolutions.
Okay. Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolutions 534, 535, 537, 538, and 539 are tabled.
Do you want to call 536?
I don't know if they
We
want to
don't
call
have
it.
it.
We don't have the- we
Julie's
don't have
bringing
it.
it in.
write-up. We just don't
Bring it in.
have
I want
She's
to.
gonna
bring it in.
No, I want it.
She's-
I want to look at
You
it.
want to see it first?
540.
So 540.
We're gonna jump to 540, then go back?
Yeah.
Okay, resolution 540.
Authorize funding application for New York State to support I Love New York tourism funding. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 541.
Appoints the town building and planning administrator. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
I've been giving it a lot of thought and listening to all the arguments for and against, and I have to vote yes because we need someone to head the building department, and it's good planning to join both departments together. So I vote yes.
Thank you.
I think I can handle
He
that.
has to read it.
You
So,
voted yes?
yeah,
Okay,
he has to
Walter.
read it.
What was it?
Yes, welcome aboard Jefferson Murphy.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 542.
Pay bills.
Well, wait, no, he has to read it. I'm waiting for him to read
Pay
it.
bills.
Okay, five bills, pay the bills.
Second.
Moved and seconded as to paying bills.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Now, resolution 536.
Okay. Accepts the resignation of a traffic control officer. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, I want to thank him for his job that he gave the town of Riverhead.
Walter.
This is just the fellow who got a job in Connecticut?
Yes, I don't know if it's Connecticut, but he did get
Yeah,
it.
it's a police officer up in Connecticut,
4 years he served.
and so he's moving on.
And helped teach my son play ball with his dad at baseball. That was a yes.
See?
Yes. Resolution adopted.
Okay, now we open the public comment portion up to whatever's on your mind. We ask you to limit your comments to 5 minutes. Sandra?
I heard I got it wrong. I was out coughing in the hallway. I didn't get it wrong about Otzman's situation. I know you can't discuss it. I got it right.
What?
But you can't discuss it.
Yeah, right.
This
Lots of different But hopefully we'll get something right in regard to my favorite topic, unfortunately, it's been 19 years now. Any status on the animal shelter? Let me just preface, when I called on June 6th to ask, Jill was not available, she was not in. I was referred to Jim, and I was told that he was out of the loop regarding the negotiations with the animal shelter and the takeover of management by Norfolk Animal Welfare League, if that's the case, it bounced back to Sean's desk.
It's moving forward. It's,
because, let me say,
okay, go ahead.
let me finish, that according to Carol, there were no discussions ongoing.
There are.
Well, how long is this going to take?
They are working through the planning department to acquire property to build a kennel in, well, it's a kennel, and in the same area as our animal shelter, and so they've got that on their plate now.
By the dump, you mean they're going to do?
On a piece of property owned by
Connie
I
Farr?
guess it's
I know.
Okay,
I was
so-
told by Connie that
Yes,
they were negotiating with Connie Farr.
Well,
And-
what was supposed to happen was they were going to just have a 99-year lease, but their attorney for Norfolk Animal Welfare League thought it would be better to own the property. So now they're in the process of a subdivision. That's going to take a little bit of time. When they get through with that and build that facility, that's their prime focus right now. That's the first step to working with the town of Riverhead. So
we're talking another 19 years.
No.
Probably a few.
When
Could
you're
be.
all gone
Could be.
and possibly dead and buried, and me.
We all could
and
be.
thousands of other animals have gone homeless
Sandra,
and
Probably right.
I'm cautiously optimistic that they're going to get through their process, that they're going to build this kennel on Mr. and Mrs. Farr's property. And then once that happens, I'm more than cautiously optimistic that they're going to come I think they're going to come take our shelter over. That's what their goal is, or they wouldn't be building a facility down the road from it. So,
I'll grant you that.
so
They're not going to invest in Riverhead unless they're going to make that part of their plan.
correct. So it's just a,
Well, I've invested a lot of time in the town of Riverhead, and I haven't gotten any further than I was 19 years ago with promises, promises, promises. And the long and the short of the story is, you're still next to the dump. You're still next to the methane issue that comes up through the piping. I don't even know
it
if
would be
it's still even
further down the
regulated.
road.
Around the bend, but they're going to be next to Crown Sanitation. So how is that going to improve it? Is that
Down
the cheapest land in the town of Riverhead?
It's way down. It's way down the road, around the curve.
It's not that far.
Oh, it's quite.
Far is in the eyes of the beholder, like a breezeway.
It's not connected by a breezeway,
No, it's
Seth.
way down the road.
Point is, there is nothing that the town of Riverhead can offer the Norfolk Animal Welfare League, which is a not-for-profit, in lieu of their purchasing this land from the FARs, to utilize their expertise to save them some bucks and get this moving quicker.
No, they
You don't get it.
no, they
I don't get it.
They
Spell
want
it
to do
out.
this first. This is their game plan,
No,
and they want to get this out of their way first.
The dynamics are that we keep going in the same circle.
No,
and
I don't think so.
Well, the end game is to get a private, a private entity to run the shelter. That's a given.
What about that property, the Beagle?
But you got to pay them to do that.
Forgive me?
You got to pay them to do that.
Yeah, I know, you got to pay people, right? You get paid. They expect it. I
No,
never
I mean,
expected anyone not to get paid.
And right now, the numbers don't even come close yet. To be honest with you. The numbers don't come close yet.
We can't give them enough money right now for them to run our shelter. That's the problem. So they have to build something and start
You know,
receiving
I don't
money.
know how you
Sandra,
budget your, please
Trust
don't,
me.
Sandra. I don't
Trust me.
trust anybody anymore.
I have had
I don't trust
recent
anybody.
conversa- Okay.
And I'll simply state why, because too
I've
many
had a-
animals have gone the wayside for whatever reason. If this works out, that'll be nice, but I can tell you it's not going to be sooner than later. Nothing is sooner than later.
Yeah, it's going to be a little
Well,
bit. But
Why don't you just contract with the Riverhead Animal Hospital on Mill Road and Main Street? He has a very large facility there that has ample
Well, you know
kennels.
what? You know what?
Have you stepped forward and
I'm
asked
going to
the
let you
man?
speak because I really don't want to interact with you because
I don't
see-
want to interact with this process either. I don't want to deal with
But
anything
the
except
animal
saying
shelter,
this is where
along
we
with
can
Crown
go to get the
Sanitation,
animal.
who we've dealt with a new system they're putting in up there with irrigation to help with the smell and the dust. We're down to 17 dogs now. We've got
All the more reason to
trainers.
close the
We've done,
facility.
there's been a lot of policy changes. There's been a lot
got a
of
vet, you've
upgrades.
got-
Where
We've
do
got a
you
vet-
think I've been?
Exterminator.
How many times has he written about this subject?
Sandra, I know where you've been.
Where I've been is unfortunately unable to give you a check to do it myself.
That has nothing.
Yeah,
no.
well,
if you want
I've
to make a
been told-
donation, we'll take the donation. But I don't need your money.
You don't need my, well, frankly, you'd be better off dealing with a private organization or have the town
I think you're
contract with the vet because he has the facility. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Lochner, I believe is his
Contract-
name.
The car.
We're talking
You talking
about.
about River Animal?
We're talking about an animal
Riverhead
shelter.
Animal
We're talking
Hospital.
about the
Yeah.
municipality's obligation.
Don't
under
talk to
Ags-
me like I don't know what you're talking about.
the-
I know what you're talking about.
Why are you
talk,
being?
talk.
I'm saying that under Ags and Markets law, this as a municipality, as a township, we owe it to our residences to have animal control.
Hurrah! Is it
So we have
election
to
year
have
again?
a municipal shelter.
Are we talking about election year again?
We have
Because it's
to.
the
No,
same
I'm 3 years
baloney.
away.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
We have
right.
to have a municipal shelter in the town of Riverhead. We have to.
You don't have to have it because when
We
we
can
moved, you did
subcontract
not have
it.
it. You did not have it.
We-
Initially, there was not. It was not
Only
open when we
since-
moved out
well,
here.
Only the 52 years I've been here, we've had an animal
Really?
shelter. Okay?
We can
I
contract.
can't tell you about the other 200
we
years
can
my family was
we
here.
have to have one. We can do
Under
joint.
Ags and Market, we have to, as a municipality, handle
Yeah.
animal control.
We can do joint
And
with
that's the
another
focus.
municipality,
Control
but we
is
have
the
to have
wrong
one.
word. care and rescue should
Well,
be more
I'm
of a
talking about
focus.
under law. Yeah.
Under law, I know, but I've read all that stuff.
So as a municipal shelter, yes, we can contract those services out to a private organization, we can, but we still have to obligate it to the taxpayers and the residents of town to have that service here.
So Sandra, I need something
So we
from
just
you.
can't fluff it off to a vet, just can't do it.
We're not talking fluff it off. They're going to pay the man. You're going to contract like you do with Dunn and Engineering. You're going to contract like you do with all these other H&M
We contract with a
stuff.
vet now once a month to come in.
Why don't you ask?
All right,
We do
need-
have contracts with
Sandra,
vets.
we're going forward, and you're going to see in the not-too-distant future, I believe, a public hearing for a special permit to open this kennel over on that piece of property, because it's a special permit use. So what I need from you, what I need from the animal community that supports this,
There were
with the
500 people who
accessory-
signed a petition. When you I think, were actually maybe the town attorney at the time.
What
and
I
I think
need
maybe
is
Bob was, when flipped
Positive
seats at the
support
time.
for the kennel.
Forgive me?
Positive, when they make their application for the special permit, the North Fork Animal Welfare League, I need you to bring your friends out and have positive support for
Let
that
me put it
kennel.
to you this way. I do not rely on other people. I rely on myself and other people coming to me because they are afraid to come here. This is the reason I'm spending my lovely afternoon in this building, because they will not come and talk to you because they are afraid of you. I am not
that's
afraid of you because they're afraid of retaliation for whatever reason. I've had people talk to me too many times each week telling me point blank, I can't go because my son works for the town. I can't go because I want a variance. I can't do this, I can't do that. And they will come to, don't tell me what they tell me when you're not even present.
Sandra, I'm not.
You're listening to me only because
I just can't believe
I
that
keep
people
talking.
are afraid to talk
They are
about animal
afraid to
issues.
come.
I find that appalling.
They are. I was surprised when we had that almost 500-person signature on a petition years ago. I was absolutely stunned that that many people would put their name on a piece of paper and present it to the town. And you know what happened then? That was years ago.
Yeah, long for my time.
Yeah, that was before your time, but you were still a resident taxpayer of the town
it's
of
been
Riverhead.
200 years.
Yeah, well, let me say, enough. So that's going to be sooner than later? How soon? How do you define soon? It's sort of like Breezeway. How do you define soon?
I'm hoping if they have to do the subdivision, they're moving the subdivision, I'm hoping within the next year to 18 months, we're gonna have.
Oh, God. Well,
Sandra, can I just say something? Sandra,
I don't want to hear anything.
Sandra, can I
Okay,
just...
let's move to,
Wait,
I took too much
I
time.
want to
No,
say something
no.
to Sandra.
The other
Sandra,
problem, what?
I think that, I go up to the animal shelter at least twice a month, and I think we do a good job up there.
I go every
We
week.
have,
out of the
we have
loop.
one dog that
I go up to the
that had
shelter.
heartworms. The vet came in, they segregated the dog because it can't be upset for
Obviously.
15 days. We segregated the dog so it gets well. And we don't, 8 dogs were adopted last month. So
9,
this
according to her.
well, this is the things
No,
that are
right.
happening up there.
Right, I'm out of the loop when it comes to negotiating with North Fork Welfare League, because there's a lot of prongs to that, and it's best that they really target one person to do those negotiations. But I'm up at the shelter every Saturday to see, I take care of the immediate problems of the dogs in our care now.
Well, let's hope that this happens. 18 months is a long time in the life of an animal who's up there, who may not be cared for as fully as it could be if you contracted out with the local vet who has the facilities. I mean, you could at least breach the situation, approach the man for the interim until this 18, I know what 18 months is around here.
I think we've got the right route.
Yeah, it's
So I wanna
manana.
proceed with that. I think the board likes this
And our
route,
our shelter
Yeah,
is
it's
not
push it
that
off.
bad. Our shelter is not that bad.
All right,
It's
what
not
else-
that
what
bad?
Else, what else you got, Sandra?
Bad to what it was when I first got
What
here.
I had was some suggestions for fundraising, but I really don't see the point in bringing those up since it's not going to happen anyway. The size, I wanted to ask about this lady whose hopes you've got risen to, Miss Lucas. Because I spoke specifically with Morton Building when I was reading about how large a size property she wanted for her building, for her facility. You know, Denise Lucas, the one who's bringing you money.
I know who Denise Lucas is, and
Okay.
you can go on her website.
Well, I talked to a gentleman there,
MTS.
and he told me, when I asked him, does that sound too large of a size? I forget the specifics now. He said it depends specifically on how many kennels you are looking forward to. And besides building anything and buying anything, 84 Lumber is gone out of business now on Main Street. You know that?
Yes.
On Route 25, yes.
Now that specific location is not far from what I understand was the original dog pound, a little bit across the street from Ed Denizensky's Dynamic Automotive. There's big block cement buildings. Do you remember that far back? I didn't know that. Somebody
It had to
told
be
me.
before my lifetime. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Point in
I can't
fact
remember
is,
that.
this 84 Lumber is sitting there, built. Why don't you approach them and suggest to Norfolk Animal Welfare League, since they're not from Riverhead, maybe they don't know that this property is available for sale. And then you can jump up your 18 months to a closer period of time, which would be more.
We have a plan, and I think we don't
have
want
a plan.
to sway from it.
Yeah,
They
we
don't wanna
don't want to
from
sway from our plan. Can I say, to say what I read in the paper, what I hear on the outside, leaves me so disappointed in all of you. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. The crap that went on, that I read, I don't know, shouldn't read the news review maybe and believe what they say, but
Don't
from
believe
what I
everything
read.
you read.
Well, I wouldn't believe everything they say.
In the
Watch
previous
out
week,
for
you
local,
don't
too.
believe anything you say. Well,
Sandra,
unfortunately, I
can
can't
we-
sit here and listen to this
Can we
crap
wrap
each time.
the
I don't know.
minutes
I
up?
guess it depends on who you talk to, but I tell you, I hear the negatives, I hear the positives, I've seen changes, I see everybody trying to move in the right direction. Maybe it's not happening as fast as you think, but
I
I tell
think
you,
19 years is way
this-
too
All right,
long.
Sandra, can we?
I know, but what you
Yeah, I'm
want.
going to wrap it up because my
What you
feeling
want.
is you don't care and you should own up to it.
Okay,
Well, you're
thank you.
you're right.
Anybody else
You're
wish to
right.
be
I
heard
don't
today?
care. Yeah. I'll put my money.
Not seeing anybody, can I get a motion?
I make
to
a motion,
adjourn?
we close, town board meeting.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank
Ask
you.
the racetrack to point their fireworks in the other direction while you're at it, rather than at Glenwood, now that we have no buffer zone.
Okay. We're in towards the shelter.
We're gonna get one with a better button. Yeah, well, you want-